Good morning everyone and wishing all the viewers a happy Mother's Day. So today I'm Maitri Mahavir. I'm a certified yoga instructor. I'm a prenatal as well as a postnatal yoga instructor. So today for all the mommies to be and the moms, I'm going to teach you some asanas where you can practice at home or at your ease. So during prenatal yoga, and you can wonder why is it different from regular yoga. So regular yoga and prenatal yoga is almost the same, but here in prenatal yoga, what we do is we give a specific asanas just to modify your body changes for the first trimester, second trimester and the last trimester. So we practice according to them. So initially in the first 3 months, you will have a lot of discomforts like nausea and headaches. So a lot of discomfort. So all the asanas will be according to it. And in the second trimester, we help you to develop your pelvic floor muscles and the other organs of your body. And in the last trimester, we help you to give you a very happy birth. It will help you a lot for an easy delivery. So it will help you not only to strengthen your body, it will also to help you to relax your mind, to keep your body calm and help you in a very safe delivery. And also it will help you to have a safe delivery and also help you for postnatal delivery also. So let me show you some asanas and then some breathing techniques and then relaxation poses for you. So during the first trimester, you can practice regularly, maybe once or twice in a week or thrice in a week, or depends on how you want it. So if you want to practice alternate days, you can practice alternate days. But again, you need to practice only with the consent of your doctor. If your doctor agrees only, then you can practice the yoga. Or take a very good yoga instructor and be with them and when they help you. Do not go to practice yoga online or do not see YouTube videos and practice yoga because it is going to be very tough in case if you have any problems. So let us start with the simple asanas. So before we start yoga, first you need to have a little warm up. So basically you just cannot go and start yoga as it is, but you need to have some warm up sessions. So first what we can do is you just keep your leg like this together, keep your hands on your hips and just gently rotate your neck. So this you can do it 5 times, 5 breathing, slowly inhaling and exhaling. That is clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Slowly. So this is basically warm up. Just don't go doing fast like this, very slow like this. So this has to be practiced both prenatal or postnatal moms who are practicing yoga. The warm up has to be done. A little bit of stretching, I can call it as. And then the neck like this, back, complete back and down. So you see what is happening here. You can go back completely and then touch the chin down. Just relax completely and then down. So all this 5 times and then to the sides. Slowly, do not put pressure. So whenever you feel that you're straining and you're putting pressure, so just stop, relax, take a deep breath and then like this. Slowly, so 5 times each. So this is all about the neck stretching and then we do the hand stretching. So what you have to do is put your thumb inside like this and then go rotation clockwise like this and then anti-clockwise. This is also you need to do it 5 breathing. So inhaling, exhaling, observe your breathing and then stretch your fingers with your thumb inside, stretch your fingers 5 times again. And then what we do is we keep a leg a little apart, hands on your hips and then go rotation clockwise completely. Exhale, slowly inhaling and exhaling like this. And then anti-clockwise, inhaling and exhaling like this. That is also 5 times. So people who are in the first trimester, moms too who are in the first trimester, be careful. Do not do excess, just maybe a 3 breathing is enough. And then probably you can sit on a chair and do the leg rotation like this, clockwise 5 times, and then anti-clockwise 5 times. So both the feet like this, and then just slowly swing your leg back, and then front, back and front 3 times, and then the other side, back and front 3 times. So this is the stretching you need to do when you're practicing yoga, that is before or after, that is like prenatal as well as postnatal. This is a must. So people who are practicing postnatal yoga, if they are 6 weeks if they have a normal delivery, and 3 months if they have a C-section delivery. And always start yoga with your consult with your doctor. Do not just start yoga as you feel like. Just have a word with your doctor and ask him if or her if she can practice yoga. So now let us start. So a lot of you will face a lot of discomforts, headaches. Nausea is like a very common thing. Feeling acidity, having acidity. So these are very common in the first trimester. So right now I will just show you some asanas, a very simple asana where you can practice by your own. So first what you need to do is the stretches which I have shown you, the neck, the hand and the leg and the hip rotation. So right now I will just show you some asanas. So basically when you are starting for yoga, just keep your legs apart so that the weight of your body is distributed equally and no pressure falls like this. So even you are at home cooking or doing any work, so after your second trimester what will happen is the weight falls on your back, and that is why you get the lower back pain. So what I tell is just stand a little with your legs apart so that the weight is distributed equally and you can relax and do it. So first now you need to keep your legs like this and keep your hands parallel to the ground. So whenever you are doing any asanas, be careful, do not strain your body. So yoga is basically for relaxation. So do not strain your body. Be relaxed and do it very slowly. There's no hurry for you to finish in 1 hour only or 2 hours like that. Just do as much as you can, just slowly. So now just keep your hands at the side. Now keep it in. Now we have to inhaling, hands up, look up, bend your neck back, and then exhaling down. So this you need to repeat for 5 times. Inhaling up like this and exhaling down. So this you can repeat for 5 times, and then keep your legs apart. Keep your hands up like this. A gentle twist like this. Remember, do not put pressure on any part of your body. When you are doing like this, do not do so bad like this which will hurt you. Just a slight bend like this. Relax completely for 5 breathing, and then the other side for 5 breathing. So do it very gently. So just let's do 2 breathings together. Hold like this. Relax. Inhale and exhale for 3 times. Come up and then again bend down. Relax. And then the other side. And then the other side. Just relax. And now next, since you'll be putting pressure on your shoulders, let us just relax your shoulders. Keep your hands like this, keep your legs apart, and then slowly do the rotation like this, clockwise 5 times. Very slowly, do not do fast, you will be putting pressure and then you'll get tired. So just go slow, a little slow like this, 5 times clockwise, and then anti-clockwise 5 times. Yes. Now next we will do a little of twisting asanas. Twisting as in not complete twisting. So just keep your legs a little apart, hands on your waist, and now slowly look back. So when I say look back, you need to concentrate on a particular point and focus only on your breathing. So when you are practicing yoga, you need to only focus on your breathing. You should not think what to do after yoga, where to go, what to do, what will happen, nothing. So basically it's only your breathing and the focus on your breathing. So just look back like this, concentrate at one point, breathe for 5 breathing, look front and then turn back to the other side. Again concentrate on one point and observe only your breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Just relax and then look forward, and then keep your one hand up like this and then the other hand down. Just slightly bend. Breathe for 5 breathing. Relax completely. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Again, try to focus at some point. Observe that thing and breathe. Inhale and exhale. If you're feeling very tired while inhaling and exhaling, you can inhale and exhale through the mouth like this. For all the asanas, when you're practicing, you can just bend like this and exhale. Like this, which will help you to relax. So the next asana is keep your right hand on your left side and your other hand at the back like this. Your other hand at the back like this. Now slowly legs apart and turn to the opposite side. So when I say to the opposite side, if your hand is on the left side, you need to turn to the right side. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And relax. And now to the other side. And just relax. So these all asanas you can practice in your first trimester to avoid nausea, headaches, lower back pain, or when you're feeling very lethargy or feeling very moody. So in the next asana, what we can practice is just keep your right leg on your front, hands on your waist, and now you need to bend, complete bend. This asanas can be practiced after the second trimester. So go forward like this and then come up. So you need to do it 5 times. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. If you're feeling very tired to breathe through your nose continuously, you can exhale through your mouth, no problem. Inhale like this and exhale. Yes. And same with the other side. Now inhaling down. Exhaling, come up. Inhaling down. And exhaling, come up. So you need to do this 5 times. Yes. Next, what we can do is hold your left knees or the ankles with your hand like this, and then slowly bend down and keep your hand in the front. Look at the fingertips and breathe. 5 breathing. And if you find it again difficult to breathe, you can exhale always through your mouth. And then the other side. Yes. For those who are in their last trimester, what you can practice is just keep your leg like this, balance like this. First try to balance, take any support if you want, and then just keep your hands like this. Look forward and breathe for 5 breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So if you're feeling very difficult with your stomach to stand like that, always take support. Do not fall. So always take support like this and then inhale and exhale. Yes. So these are some of the asanas. And then next what you can do is keep your legs apart completely. Keep your legs completely, hands parallel to the ground. Turn to the right side and bend your right knee like this, and both the hands should be at the same level. Look at the fingertips and breathe, inhaling and exhaling. So if you're feeling any pressure over here, what you can do is just hold your stomach like this and then do it gently. So do not put pressure on any part of your bodies. So what you can do is just keep like this, or if you're finding it difficult to keep it like this, you can just hold your tummy like this and breathe. Fire breathing, inhale and exhale, and slowly come up. And next, same way, inhale and exhale. If you're finding it difficult to breathe through your nose and exhale at the same time, because sometimes the pressure falls on the nose, what you can do is just inhale and exhale. Yes. Then now join your legs slowly. Now keep your legs apart. Turn your right leg to the right side. Put your right hand on the right knee like this. And then bend like this. Breathe. 5 breathing. Again, do not put pressure on any part of the body. Just if you're feeling too much stretch here, just do it just slightly. Otherwise, you can just bend like this and relax for 5 breathing. Inhale and exhale. And then the other side. Inhale and exhale. Just the other side. Relax and do it. Do not put pressure. You should feel the stretch here, but do not put pressure. And just gently join your legs. Now next, keep your legs apart. Turn your right leg to the right side. Bend your right knee. Hold your hand like this. Look forward and breathe for 5 breathing. Try to focus straight. Eyes concentrate at one particular point and observe the breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Again, same way. Inhale, exhale. If you're finding it very difficult, if you're feeling the pressure from your nose a lot, you can exhale through the mouth. And after 3 breathings of it, slowly go back. Be careful not to put pressure over here. Just go back. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly come up. And then to the other side, bend down, look forward again and breathe. 3 breathings. And then go back. Slowly, and then come up, and then join your legs. So these are some of the asanas, and always practice asanas with a proper guidance. Please do not check YouTube or any video tutorials and practice by your own, because any one posture goes wrong, it will affect you as well as the baby. So kindly do not do anything without any guidance. So next, what we can do is a lot of people complain about acidity. That is from the second trimester. That is because you keep long gap between meals. One reason is that you eat spicy food, or sometimes it's common during pregnancy. So what we can do is, there is one asana called as Vajrasana, which you can practice immediately after food, and which will help you to relieve from your acidity. So what you have to do for that is, just kneel down like this. Just kneel down like this. Sit like this on your heels. Can you see here? Sit like this on your heels like this. Okay? So just sit on your heels like this. Keep your hand like this. Look forward, your shoulders straight, and then just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Just either eyes open, or if you're feeling very giddy, you can close your eyes and then just look forward and breathe. Inhale and exhale. So this is Vajrasana, and you can practice immediately after your meals, like your breakfast, lunch and dinner, which will help you to relieve yourself from acidity. So if you're having too much of acidity problem, you can practice this asana immediately after meals, and regular practice of this. So you can do it every day. And this is one asana which you need not have guidance. So I'll just show you. Just sit down, keep your hands like this, and your shoulders should be broad. Never drool your shoulders like this because it will be very uncomfortable. Just keep like this and leg forward. Next, what you can do is just keep your legs a little apart, hands on your hips, and then go back like this and relax for 5 breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Relax, inhaling and exhaling. Just inhaling and exhaling. Just relax. Now next, what pose is? We call as the cat and cow pose. Just look forward and breathe for 5 breathing. Legs a little apart, hands like this. If you're feeling if you're having pain, you can just sit like this. But this is the most comfortable position like this. Look up and then get in. Again look up and get in. Look up and get in. Look up and get in. So this is also very good posture for you. And next, a lot of people complain about back pain. That is after the second trimester, when the baby is growing. What happens is you will have pressure here on the lower back. So that is why you keep getting back pain. So what you can do is just sit like this. Just put your head down like this, and then just do hip rotation. Slowly, very gently, hip rotation. So this can be practiced after your second trimester. And the same way, other side, it will relax you completely. Just a little of hip rotation like this, clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Close your eyes and then do it. So this can be done for practicing for those who have lower back pain. So after your second trimester, the pressure falls on your lower back, and this has to be practiced. And then one more asana for it is, just go back a little and come front. Go back a little and come front. Go back a little and come front. So this also has to be practiced if you are having back pain. So next, what we can do is upward dog position. That is, carefully lift your legs like this. Let me show you this way. Carefully lift your legs like this and then down like this. Close your eyes, do not keep your eyes open, and just relax. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation for 5 breathing. Kindly practice this with guidance only. Do not just practice with your own, do not watch any videos or any tutorials and practice. It might cause any problem to you, and then you'll end up in a hospital. So next, after the trimesters, after the first and the second trimester, strengthening the pelvic floor is very important. Why we need to strengthen the pelvic floor? So usually what happens is, when the pelvic floor is one part of your body which will pressure your bladder and the uterus, and because of your pressuring of the bladder, frequent urination or involuntary movement of your urine or your fistula will develop. Like when you cough or when you sneeze, what happens is you feel like passing urine or something like that. So because of the pressure here. So as your baby is growing, the pressure is falling on the bladder. That is why frequent urination, and so for that we need to strengthen our pelvic floor. The pelvic floor is this part of our body, which will help you even for delivery. So what we can do is, first keep your legs apart and then slowly bend forward. See, when your tummy is big, you will feel it very difficult. So what to do is, just how much ever you can hold, you can do it, or you can bend and just breathe for 5 breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation like this. Just relax. Do not put any pressure on the body. Okay, so just like that. Yes, for 5 breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. And now slowly come up. And next, fold your leg like this. Keep it touching here to your thighs. Hold your hands like this, toes like this, and then bend and breathe. 5 breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Just relax. Again, do not put pressure on any part of your body. This is just to help your pelvic floor exercises. And then the other side. And then bend like this. Just relax completely. And next what we can have is the strengthening exercises. Just put your feet like this back and then bend forward like this and breathe for 5 breathing. Just relax. See, with your tummy bump it is going to be very difficult, so what you can do is just bend slightly like this. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. And then to the other side. And then bend like this and breathe. If you can hold till whichever place you can hold. Otherwise it's going to bend like this and breathe for 5 breathing. Remember, do not put pressure on any part of your body. And this is one common pose which I am going to teach you is the butterfly pose, which everyone usually practices. So all you have to do is just keep your legs like this together and sit like this. Concentrate on one point and just breathe for 7 breathing. Remember, do not flap your legs. Do not flap your legs. Just hold like this. Look forward and just breathe. Keep your shoulders straight. Now just relax. Inhaling and exhaling. Remember, do not flap your legs. Just hold like this and breathe. 7 breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Just relax and do it. Say for practitioners it might be like this. You might be able to just keep it like this or just like this. You will not be able to get it close to your body. No problem. So what you can do is, if you're practicing like this, you can practice. Nothing to worry. Then strengthen and then go like this. And then relax your shoulders. Again, do not put pressure on your shoulders. Just deep inhalation and complete exhalation for 7 breathing. And then next, keep your hands at the back and the same way, put your neck down and just relax. Now slowly up and then stretch your legs like this. Next what you can do is just keep your legs like this. Take it out and get it in. Take it out and get it in slowly for 5 breathing. Take it out and get it in. Inhale and exhale. Again, I say, if you're feeling any discomfort, do not practice this. Take proper guidance while practicing. So just like this and relax. Next, just keep your legs apart and bend like this and your neck down. This is again for relaxation. Just put your neck down like this and breathe for 5 breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. And then come up slowly. From the initial trimester, what you can practice is keep your hands at the sides, shoulders straight. Keep your hands back, stretch your hands back and then go back like this. Hang your neck down and close your eyes and relax. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation and relax and completely go down. Careful, always take proper advice while practicing yoga. Next, what you can practice is keep your right leg near the left knee, near the knee. Your ankle should be near the knee like this. not like this, it should be like this. And then keep your hand to the opposite hand, that is your left hand on your right side, and then keep your right hand at the back. Look back and breathe for 5 breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Relax completely. So the same way goes for the other leg. Keep your left leg near the right knee. Keep your right hand in front of the left knee, and then keep your hand back and bend back like this and breathe. 5 breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Yes. Next, for post-delivery moms, they are always worried about their flat in the tummy. The tummy will be a little loose, and I always worry what to do. The tummy will never go in or whatever I do. So what you can do is, after, again I say, for people who have normal delivery can practice after 6 weeks, and for people who have cesarean section can practice after 3 months. So what you can do is keep your hands up like this and then bend down completely. Try to hold your toes like this and breathe for 5 breathing. And then one more asana, what you can do is keep your leg like this and then twist and tilt with. This is for postnatal mums. So what you can do is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you can repeat this 5 times. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 like this. So what will happen is it will help you to get rid of the fat near the tummy. Okay. And next what we will do is, I'll show you some lying down asanas for prenatal moms as well as postnatal moms. So first we need to relax. Just lie down and just keep your legs apart and your palms facing upwards like this. Relax. Keep it out. Just relax completely. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. After complete relaxation, join your legs. And now what we will do is, we will just fold our legs. Okay. So what we can do is, just fold our legs like this. Hold. So since you'll have a bump, it will be only so much. But those who do not have for postnatal can bend like this completely for 5 breathing. Relax completely for 5 breathing. And then also like this for 5 breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. And then last, both the legs like this. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. How much ever close you can get, close and hold your opposite elbows. If not, just hold how much ever you can. For mothers who have big bump, will be able to hold only so much. Some of the mothers will be working, or they'll be very tired. So what they can do is just hold like this. This is called the happy baby pose. Just hold like this, both the feet like this, and then relax like this. And you can just hold like this and get it close. Hold like this and get it close. Next, what you can do is keep your legs like this, hands on the side, and then just lift your buttocks like this. This will also help you to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles like this, and just relax. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Just relax. If you're feeling any kind of discomfort, do not practice it. Just hold like this and be comfortable. Just relax completely. Inhale and exhale, and then go down for 5 breathing. For the moms who will be practicing first, will be only so much. Next, you can go like this. Now next, a lot of new moms, or pregnant ladies will have this anxiety of pelvic examination. So I'm just going to show you one asana where you can just relax and have your pelvic examination. Keep your hand below like this on your buttocks and just keep your legs apart like this, and just take a deep breath when you're having the pelvic examination. Just hold your hands like this, hands on the buttocks like this, keep your legs wide like this, and then take a deep breath and exhale. Yes. Now, next, let us go for complete relaxation. So what happens is during pregnancy, a lot of hormonal changes in your body, and you feel very anxiety, you get moody, you get irritated, you get tired for no reason, you throw tantrums, you feel very sad. Even postnatal, what happens is, since you're always with your baby, you feel that you're not doing anything, you get into postpartum depression. So what you can do is, I will just show you some breathing asanas. You can just sit on the bed and do, or sit on the chair at your free time and do it. So this will help you to elevate your mood swings, it will help you to keep your body calm. And also for postpartum, what happens is you lose all your energy after delivery. You feel very tired. And since you have a new routine of your baby, like, no sleep, no proper sleep, you're getting adjusted to a new pattern, and the pattern changes every day. So you get very irritated and very low. You feel very irritated and you feel, why did I have this baby? I'm not able to have sleep or anything. So what I will show you is just show you some breathing techniques which will help you to relax, remain calm. So first what we have to do is sit. You can sit on the chair, you can sit on the bed, or you can just sit any way you're comfortable. You do not sit down like this. You can just sit on a chair, relax and sit. So what you can do is keep your hands in chin mudra. Just keep your hands like this, the thumb and the finger should touch like this. Just touch, not pressure like this. Just touch like this, and then do not put pressure here and hold. Just slightly touch and keep your hands on your knees. If you're sitting on the chair, you can keep it on the thighs, otherwise on the knees, and then close your eyes and just try to concentrate on the breathing. Deep inhalation and complete exhalation. Relax completely. Try to concentrate only on the breathing. Do not respond to any thoughts in your mind. So any thoughts that come into your mind, try to say no to them. I know it is going to be very difficult, but you need to practice. You need to develop the habit of breathing. So just close your eyes and then breathe. Inhale and exhale. So this breathing can be done up to 12 or 21 breathings. Next, what you can do is alternate nostril breathing. That is, you need to keep your left hand in the chin mudra, your right hand, your thumb out, and the two fingers like this. Now close your left nostril. Inhale through the right. Close your right nostril and exhale through the left. Now inhale through the left. Close and exhale. So this is one round. So just let us practice 3 more rounds, 2 more rounds. Just inhale through the right, close and exhale. Inhale, close, exhale. Inhale, close and exhale. So this can be practiced by both prenatal as well as postnatal moms. So I was talking about mood swings, feeling low, irritated for no reason, feeling sad for no reason. So anxiety, stress, unwanted stress. So for this we practice Surya Vedana, that is only the right nostril breathing. This will help you a lot. If you're having sleepless nights, if you're feeling tired after a heavy work throughout the day, all you have to do is with your left hand, just close your left nostril, inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the right nostril. So inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. So this can be practiced up to 12 rounds or 21 rounds. And for the prenatal moms, I will tell you a nice way to connect to your baby. Just keep your left hand on your chest and the right hand on your abdomen, and just go on a circular motion and just have some connection with your baby. Send some positive affirmations with your baby. Talk to your baby, bond with your baby. Just relax like this completely. And then relax. So after the breathing session, we wind up with something called as Yoga Nidra. So we will not be able to cover that up since it's a 20-minute session. But there are some audios available on YouTube for Yoga Nidra. All you have to do is just lie down with your legs apart and hands, keeping like this. And just play that audio and just relax completely. Deep inhalation and exhale completely. So basically it is like relaxing of your mind, your head, your shoulders, your hands, your legs, the whole part goes by eyes, ears. So it will be very difficult for you initially to concentrate, but as you develop and as you practice, you will definitely get the hang of it. So I wind up my session. So thank you all for joining and wish everyone a happy Mother's Day.
A very good morning to all of you. Proud mothers here. So on the special occasion of this Mother's Day, we are here to address on a very short yet an effective topic that's very much important, that is called emotional wellness. So when we say emotional wellness, what is it? It is nothing but a very clear awareness, an understanding and acceptance of your own emotions and your ability to manage effectively through challenges and change when you have any kind of emotions. So when we say understanding, we all generally know what our emotions are, but we don't understand them clearly. We are aware, yet sometimes we are not aware also. So becoming aware and then understanding of those emotions is very important as part of emotional wellness. Secondly, it's not enough if you are just aware and you are understanding of your emotions, but you have to accept certain of your emotions which we do not directly have control of, and we'll have to know how to manage them effectively even though we cannot control them. So if we are able to manage by having an awareness and understanding effectively the emotions that we get in our lives, be it the mothers now or be it later in your life with your children or with your own self, that is very much important for our emotional wellness. Let me ask you a few questions to understand if you are already maintaining an emotional wellness. So you can ask your own self these questions as I am asking you. Do you treat yourself or others in your life well? First question to ask about. Are you grateful in general about yourself or others? That's the second question you have to ask about. Then, are you happy with the person you are, the people around you? Are you really happy with them? That's another question to ask in order to check if you are maintaining emotional wellness. Are you open-minded and flexible? Well, that's a very big question and indeed a deep question, isn't it? Are you open-minded and are you flexible? And do you have a life purpose? A lot of us wake up in the morning sometimes and do not feel or see what is the thing that we need to do or why are we there today. But if you have a purpose or do you have a life purpose is something that you need to really ask yourself to understand if you are maintaining emotional wellness. Then, last but not the least, do you have effective ways of managing your stress? Yes or no? So if the answers for all or most of these questions are a yes, then probably you are maintaining a better emotional wellness. But if most of the answers are no, then you will have to check what is going on and then you will have to see if you can do something about it to maintain your emotional wellness. To be aware of certain things when you talk about emotional wellness is another aspect apart from asking these questions, especially at this particular stage of your life, that is, you are new mothers, the mothers who are going to raise a child. There are certain things psychologically which are very important that you need to know. The first and the foremost common aspects that we psychologists address or talk about or want you mothers to be aware of is called perinatal depression. Most mothers, or many mothers rather, during pregnancy itself or just after childbirth, they begin to experience some symptoms which are, say, sadness, okay, or worries, or excessive anxiety, or let's say there is crankiness, there is irritability, there is exhaustion. All these go up to a level which makes it really difficult for one to function in their day-to-day life and also to take care of their self and others or the baby that they have. So this is called perinatal depression, which starts during pregnancy and after childbirth also it continues. So this is a clinical condition which needs to be taken care, and definitely you need to do something about it. Otherwise, if it is left untreated, there are chances that there might be some issues that are difficult to manage for better emotional wellness. Apart from this, there is another thing that is called baby blues. I think most of you or many of us are aware of what we call as baby blues. Baby blues are nothing but just after the childbirth, that is from day one onwards, there is mood changes or mood swings, okay, and there is worry, exhaustion, fatigue, or restlessness and crankiness, again irritability. Many of the similar symptoms can also occur just after childbirth, not during pregnancy. Such symptoms are usually just after childbirth, which lasts for a few hours to at least a day or two, or maybe till 1 week or 2 weeks maximum, not more than that. And that is usually because that can disturb your equilibrium that you have been maintaining without the baby earlier. So due to this new change that has occurred, like you may have to wake up when the child is waking up in between, and you may have to lose your sleep, and you may have to feed the child at different times which you are not used to in general. So all these extra things that is added up to your routine can burden you and cause worry, irritability, crankiness or mood swings in you, which is something that is not a clinical problem. Therefore, there is not much to worry if you have baby blues, because it will remit or it will come back to its original state within 1 week or 2 weeks, or sometimes for a few mothers it is just a few hours also. But you need to be taking care during those times also, in order not to exacerbate or increase the problems that you are going through. So that's about baby blues that you have to be aware of. Then there comes something which is very, very important for you mothers to be aware of as part of psychological well-being or emotional well-being. That is called postpartum depression. Postpartum depression, when we say, it is a serious clinical condition where the symptoms that we just spoke about as part of either perinatal depression or either as part of baby blues, they continue to persist beyond 2 weeks, and they are very, very severe, so as to affect your daily functioning and care for your own self as well as care for the baby. So therefore, this is something that you really need to understand, wherein postpartum depression is something that starts after childbirth and lasts for more than 2 weeks. So when such symptoms are present, it is very, very serious medical condition that you need to take care of, where excessive worry, anxiety, sadness, even suicidal thoughts or tendencies occur. So it is best that there is some treatment or intervention given from a professional mental health who is in the mental health field. So otherwise it is very difficult to manage things on your own if somebody is going through postpartum depression. Usually it is the others who will be easily able to identify some of the symptoms of postpartum depression. What are the symptoms of postpartum depression? Let me give you some ideas so that either you or others around you can identify that these are certain symptoms that can occur, which you need to take seriously and consult somebody who is a professional in the field of mental health. So let's say one of the main symptoms is constant fatigue, which also occurs in perinatal depression or baby blues, but then this lasts more than 2 weeks and you are not able to function well. The other thing is lack of joy in life. What happens is you don't enjoy whatever you're doing. Generally people are excited, mothers are excited when the baby is there to take care, to nurse the mother, to nurse the babies and to raise the child in a very good manner that the mother would want to raise the baby. But here there is lack of joy, so thereafter there is poor taking care of the self as well as the baby. Excuse me. Then there is a sense of emotional numbness or feeling trapped. This is another symptom that people or mothers experience when they have postpartum depression. Withdrawal from family and friends. You no longer want to talk to anybody at home, or you don't want to keep in touch with your friends. And there is a lack of concern for your own self or your baby. That is another important issue here, because you stop taking care of the baby, which is not good. Therefore, that is another major symptom that others around you notice, which is a sign of postpartum depression, and if it continues for more than 2 weeks, definitely there is something that you need to take care. Then severe insomnia. You don't have enough sleep, you don't get enough sleep even though you want to sleep and you have the time to sleep. And there is excessive concern for your baby. Sometimes, even though we said withdrawal from your care and concern from your baby is also a possibility, similarly there can be excessive concern which can lead to worries. Then lack of sexual interest or responsiveness. This is another complaint that usually husbands have when the new mothers are taking care of the baby, and it could be because of postpartum depression. The attractiveness and the interest and the responsiveness that usually wives or mothers generally have with their husbands that was there before is lacking greatly. That's another sign to notice or see if there is postpartum depression in a mother. Then a strong sense of failure or inadequacy. The person thinks that I am nothing, I am useless, there is, whatever I have done is waste, or I am a failure now, I don't think I'll be able to take care of the baby properly. So these kinds of thoughts clutter the mind. There could be several or severe mood swings, okay, that can occur. That is another symptom. High expectations and an overly demanding attitude can be shown by the mother when they are experiencing postpartum depression. Then finally, difficulty making sense of some of the things that are going on naturally. This is another important issue that you need to take care. So these are very, very important to understand as part of what we call as postpartum depression. And the three things that I told you need to be kept in mind, that is perinatal depression, baby blues, and then postpartum depression. All right. Now that we saw these are some of the issues, let's understand if you are finding it difficult to manage, what do we need to do as part of maintaining or improving your mental wellness? When we say mental wellness, it's not only knowing about what are the problems, but also about how to rectify certain of the problems that is in our control. Let me give you some general tips for emotional wellness, which we are here for today anyways. Let's get into the first one. The first one is to take care of yourself. Sounds very simple, isn't it? Why am I telling you to take care of your own self when you know what is it? Let me give you a very simple example. When we say take care of yourself, there are several ways to do it. I don't think you would have thought about these kinds of ways, which I'm going to address now. The first one being, tell someone how you feel. Most often we think that it's okay to just manage our emotions our own selves. No, that's not possible. You need to be able to talk about what you're feeling, how you're feeling to someone else. It could be anyone whom you trust, whom you are close to. It could be someone from your house, or someone from your neighbor, or it could be someone from a set of friends that you have. But it is better you talk about your emotions as to how you feel to someone, and that's one of the main points as part of taking care of yourself. It's not just simply being at ease, it's taking care of yourself. As part of emotional wellness, it's better you talk to someone. Then ask family and friends for help. Most often, most mothers think that they are all in their own difficulties. Now, why do I have to share or talk about my difficulties and ask for help? That's not correct. As part of being a mother, there is definitely a lot more stress that you are going to take than the others who already have some stresses in their life. And it is not always wrong or bad, or it is not weakness to ask for help. So either your family or your friends do ask for help when you need, and that's part of maintaining your emotional wellness and taking care of your own self. Then rest how much ever you can, whenever you can. It's very, very important to take rest, because sometimes we tend to think that it is okay to keep working and nothing will happen to me. But of course, your body sometimes you won't know when it tells you whether you need rest or not. But if you give rest, it will take rest in the form of either sleeping soundly or in the form of just feeling relaxed in your body and muscles and mind on the whole. So you have to take rest, and then only you will know whether the rest was required for your body or not. Therefore, definitely please take rest whenever you can. And find time for yourself. There will be definitely certain things that you would know that you can do to keep yourself a little happy or a little out of the routine work that will make you feel at ease and in a sense of calmness. So find some time for yourself. Even if you don't do anything, it's better to just simply sit and take a time for yourself where you simply think of whatever you want to think, and it's only your time, and you don't have to worry about the baby or any others at home or any other responsibilities that you have to take. Then finally, taking care of yourself also has to take a very relaxing bath or a shower. Okay, we think that taking bath or a shower is something that we all generally or naturally, or we do it every day. What is there in it? But no, taking care of yourself also includes taking a very relaxing bath or a shower, because when the water touches our body, there is a sense of relaxation. And not for all this is suitable, but definitely this is one of the things that you can try, where without hurrying, you can take a relaxing bath or a shower that can definitely put you at ease, and also it's part of taking care of yourself. So these are some of the points that I can tell you for how you can maintain your emotional wellness when you have to take care of yourself. Other than these, there are some other general tips that I would like to say when you have to maintain emotional wellness. One is, the second one rather, after taking care of yourself, is stay at home and take rest. That is, avoid unnecessary trips or appointments with others or any other obligations that you have to do, and limit your visits or limit visitors rather in the first few weeks of the delivery, or when you are having a circumstance where you have to take care more of yourself and your child. It's better to avoid the visitors that visit your house. Then use relaxation and breathing exercises. I'm sure you are aware of different methods of breathing or relaxation exercises, and just like the previous speaker addressed how to use yoga for your wellness, you can probably engage in those asanas or those techniques in order to help yourself maintain emotional wellness, because body and mind are connected. So the more you are able to relax in the body, the mind also calms down, and therefore relaxation and breathing exercises help the best. And let others help you with the normal errands and chores that you have. A lot of times what happens is we keep on doing our own work, thinking that yes, we can do it, what is there? But no, it is better to take help for the rest of the chores that you have at home, and also the errands that you have to run. Take help from others, there's nothing wrong in it, and it is best you take help when you have to spend more time with your baby, especially when you're it's in the crucial period, right? So then another thing is, get lots of skin to skin contact with the baby, which is very, very important. So most often children who have been shown to show or have behavioral problems in the later life are those who have not had a lot of skin to skin contact with the mothers, is what research says. Therefore, as much as possible, skin to skin contact with your baby is very essential for the child's later life period, where the child will have less of aggression, less of behavior problems, and less of externalizing problems, where the child bursts out in anger or in other forms of behavior that are not generally acceptable. So in order to avoid or lessen the effect of all those, skin to skin contact with the mother is found to be very, very essential, and also that establishes a good bond as well as helps you to maintain emotional wellness because of the hormonal changes that happens when the skin to skin contact occurs, is what the research suggests. And definitely yes, we have also seen in our experience that it works. The next thing is, take one day at a time. Sometimes there are possibilities that a lot of things at your end keeps piling up that stresses you. Of course, everybody has the same issue in the world today. Therefore, keep this mantra in mind. Take one thing at a time, take one day at a time, and finish one by one. Don't worry about the rest. That's something that is very, very important. So these are some of the major emotional wellness tips that you need to take care. Finally, I would like you to tell some of the guiding principles. The guiding principle is, if you have baby blues and if you are otherwise generally maintaining but still need to improvise on your mental wellness, then follow these tips that I have told you. But if you see that you have perinatal depression, or if you see yourself or if you find yourself having the signs of postpartum depression, it is best that you consult a mental health professional, a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist very specifically, without fail, because it's very, very important that you take care and don't neglect those symptoms. If it increases, then it is going to worsen, and suicidal tendencies and other major consequences can really take a toll on your health as well as the family's health. Therefore, if you have postpartum depression or a perinatal depression, if you find any of those signs, please take care and consult a professional. Otherwise, these emotional wellness tips are something that you can always follow, and I'm sure that you're going to benefit out of it if you have understood what it is. For any further queries or for any further understanding on how to maintain or improve your emotional wellness, do consult any mental health professional for your needs and do take help. Otherwise, everything will be fine with you. I wish you a good health and a happy Mother's Day. Thank you.
Hello everybody, very happy Mother's Day to all you wonderful mothers. I'm Maina Sheth. I am a certified lactation educator here in Bangalore. I would like to thank KMC for giving me this opportunity to impart guidance to all you wonderful parents. So today I'm going to talk about how to introduce solids to your baby. It's an exciting time for both you parents as well as your child, and maybe for your caretakers, the grandparents, but it can be a little confusing as well, isn't it? So today we are going to discuss as to how we can introduce, because when we introduce food to our baby, we may either be making or breaking the relationship with food that the baby will have going ahead in the future. So what do we know about introducing solids to your child is that our grandparents, or my parents as well, or our parents, have gone through the typical traditional weaning, as we call it, traditional way of introducing foods to our children. That would mean sometime around 4 months or 5 months on, we tend to start giving purees to the baby, and we tend to be a little more forceful, I might add, as far as pushing food into the baby's mouth. So research has come a long way into looking at baby-led weaning or self-weaning by the child herself. So how about diving into it straight ahead? Okay, so let's talk about what age we are supposedly to be starting solids to your baby. Now this is not coming from my pocket, it's basically come out through various research based evidence by World Health Organization, UNICEF, and various pediatric associations around the world, that first and foremost your baby should be on breast milk, and if unfortunately if it is beyond your control that you're not able to breastfeed your child, then formula is the next bet to go up to 6 months of age. No water, no dal ka pani, no rice, no cereal up until 6 months of age. Breastfeeding should continue for at least 2 years, says World Health Organization, or more, until baby weans or the mother decides for herself to wean the child, isn't it? Then the other thing about solid foods is that when you're introducing solid foods, we tend to ignore the fact, or basically what we tend to do is try to replace breast milk or formula milk with solids. Now that is incorrect. The foods that you're going to introduce to your child is only going to complement the breast milk or formula and not replace it. Now you're going to ask me why not, because certain times we feel that the baby is not putting on weight, and so we have our healthcare providers suggesting that we start solids. So what happens if we start food to your child who is younger than 6 months? So generally speaking, the gut, as in the gut of the child, is not very mature up until 6 months of age. So they have something called as an open gut, meaning if you're introducing anything solids at this point of time, there could be a risk of allergies because because the baby's gut again is not matured. It could have the risk of displacing the more nutritious milk, breast milk or formula, and your baby's kidneys may not be mature enough to handle that food. The other thing that you would want to know is it can lead to an increase in obesity later on, also increasing the risk of allergy. So what are the current guidelines then? So the current guidelines say, as I said, babies should be started on solids at about 6 months of age, because they have an immature gut. Their kidneys cannot withstand maybe the food they cannot withstand the food or cannot digest the food. So the current line goes that you should introduce at around 6 months or 26 weeks of age. Now you may delay a week or two, but don't make much of it may not make much of a difference, but if you delay a week or two, but don't wait much past 26 weeks. So what are the other signs of readiness apart from mature gut? Is that the baby generally tends to have a tongue thrust at the age of around 4 months onwards, from the time they are 0 month to around 4 to 5 months. They have something called as a tongue thrust. Matlab, if you they just know only how breast milk goes in or formula goes in. It goes right back into their throat. So that's what they know. The instinct is to suckle. But when they have a tongue thrust, because as when you put in food into your baby's mouth, they tend to push it out with their tongue like that. So they do not tend to take the food in and swallow it. So that is called a tongue thrust, and you would want to wait until that tongue thrust reflex goes off. That does happen around 5 months or so of age. The other important criteria that you want to look into is whether the baby can sit by herself or himself. When I say sit, it is a milestone itself when they can sit on their own independently at around 9 months of age. But if around the 6th month and above, if they are able to sit on their own with a little bit of support or without falling to their sides, then that is one sign of readiness. The second is whether they can hold their head upright, steady and upright, basically meaning the baby is not wobbling the head. Now think about it. If you're sitting maybe behind, or if you're sitting to your left and your head is bobbing about, it is very difficult to eat, isn't it? So basically we have to take the help of gravity, sitting straight, and see that the food goes right into our stomach. Even if we tend to lie down behind or bend in front, we are not able to eat our food. So we tend to sit straight, engage our core muscles, and with the support of a trunk, that is the hip area, we tend to sit straight, and that is what we are looking at in a baby as well. The third thing that you would like to see is if the baby is able to, in a sitting position, maybe able to take or grasp, or maybe even in a tummy down position, they're able to grasp any toy or things as such to and try and put it in their mouth. So basically what is happening here, they have a hand mouth coordination. So if that is happening, then it is one of the readiness signs of you having to that you can introduce solids. Now why, you ask, should that be a readiness sign? Why is it important that they tend to pick things up in their fist and put it in their mouth? Is basically that if they are in front of the food, they would want to have that particular sign of readiness, so that their brain is about alert as to what is going into the mouth, right? So these are the 3 things that you want to look at. 4 things, I'm sorry. One is the tongue thrust. Absence of tongue thrust, baby is able to sit and with a little bit of support. If the baby is sitting even with support but the baby is leaning around, then that's not a good sign to start with. Baby is holding head steady and they are able to pick up things in their fist and put it in their mouth. They show interest. Okay, so these are the readiness signs, and if you feel at any time around the age of 4 to 5 months, if you see the readiness, usually you can see it 5 and 5.5 months and above, you can look into starting these complementary foods for your child. So, but what else do we need to look at is we would want to aim as parents to aim for family meals. Now, we have come a long way from introducing only wheat and rice purees, and that only being the constant food for the child morning, noon and night for the next 3 to 4 months, isn't it? So now what does the recent research talk about is that this is a very important period in your child's life. It's a window of opportunity to introduce lot of flavors, textures and such to your baby. So but then if you tend to give only a certain type of food, see, the aim is to basically at some point, maybe after a year, the baby needs to start family foods. You don't want a separate kitchen for your child. So the aim for you is to basically help the child to transition to family foods. The second thing that you want to look at is you want to aim is to trust your baby. Matlab, you want to trust your baby's hunger cues and you want to trust your baby's finish cues. Most of us are overzealous, so that over excited or overzealous to put more food into the baby's mouth, and this is not recommended because they tend to have then they tend to initiate this picky eating signs because they are not happy with the way we are force feeding them. So you want to trust your baby. When the baby says stop, they do not have to say stop. They will show you in other ways. They will turn their head, they will start crying. So you want to trust your baby cues when they say stop, right? So the next thing that you want to aim when you start solids is to trust yourself, to not micromanage things. You want to be not standing over the baby and coaxing or forcing or distracting or basically entertaining your baby to start and end a meal. So you want to trust your wisdom as to when to interfere and when not to. Then you want to aim and resist forcing food into your baby's mouth. This is a sure way of picky eating, leading the baby to be a picky eater. So you don't want to force your child. So what you would want to really understand is chewing and swallowing are very complex sensory motor skills, and baby will need ample time to practice. They will struggle a bit, they will get it wrong many times, but they will try again before they get it right. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, for example, if you are a right-handed person and you're writing with your right hand, and I come and say, no, you have to start writing with your left hand, initially you're not going to like it. You're going to like, okay, this is not easy, I need to practice more. So just taking that particular example, what I'm trying to say is your baby has been having only liquid foods that's 6 months, right? So they are not very, they don't know what you are doing by getting a spoon into their mouth. So what you would want to know is that it is a learning skill and they need a lot of practice. So they need several months of practice. So try and keep your expectations down and go slow initially when you start introducing food. So the biting moment of the jaws appears around at around 5 months. Swallowing of food occurs at around 6 to 7 months. Think about it. You need to take the food into your mouth. Your tongue needs to help the food to go to the sides of the jaws, and you want to munch it, and then the brain tells you, okay, this is safe enough to then swallow it. So swallowing of food occurs at around 6 to 7 months. The side to side movement of the tongue develops by 8 to 12 months of age. So remember, it is all a matter of practice. So now you're going to ask me, so what do I do when I come with a bowl of food? What do you expect me to do? So as a parent, you can control 4 things, right? You can control what food is served, you can control when it is offered, you can control where it is offered, and you can control your attitude when you come to the table. And what can baby control? Baby can control how much to eat and whether they want to eat or not. So the things that you can control, the baby cannot, and the things that baby can control, you cannot. So it's basically getting the horse to the water, but you cannot make the horse drink it. So keep that in mind while you are planning to introduce solids to your child, that force feeding is not a way to go. You need to help the child to practice eating food, and it is slow initially, but if you keep your patience, you will see that the baby will be more interested in looking and interested and adventurous when it comes to trying a variety of foods. So what can you do to encourage independent eating is you need to set the stage. What does that mean? Basically have all the food necessary gears ready before your child comes to your table. You would want to set regular meal times, but it may not be possible. So set a scheduled time, but let it be flexible. You need to serve the right stuff. So we are not talking about only one kind of food, 3 times a day, 7 days a week. So you want to set you want to give more nutritious food to your child. You want to embrace family time. So I like to use the term monkey see, monkey do. What does that mean? When we are creatures of habit, we tend to also mimic, isn't it? So children mimic the adult. So when they see the adult sitting and eating food, first of all, and the same food is offered to the child, first of all they tend to gain trust. Trust for what? Trust that whatever mommy is eating is same for me as well, isn't it? So you want to have the baby sit with you during meal time. So let's say you're hungry at around 11 o'clock, you want to have a snack. But then that can be a meal time, you can call that a family meal time, but you do not have your husband or grandparent, that's all right. What you want to do, let's say you're going to have a banana. So you want to sit, you want to get your child to the table, maybe on a high chair, on your lap or on the table or something which can keep the baby steady. And you, while you're eating your banana, you can cut off into finger sticks, you know, the banana, and you can offer that to your child. I'm going to talk to you about the size of it. So when you offer that to your child, the baby is looking at the mother and knowing that this fruit is something that I can trust, and I too can put it into my mouth. So this is what we need to do while you want to introduce solids. The babies need to look at the parents and their caretakers to trust and to mimic, and thereon to start the full-fledged way of practicing eating. You want to forgive the mess, however, because it's going to be really messy, and if you have an OCD of everything needs to be clean and tidy, this might be a phase where you want to kind of resist the urge to clean up all the time, because at that point of time it's going to be a little messy when they're trying to eat on their own, isn't it? So you have to forgive the mess and move on. So how is it, when is it the right time to feed, apart from the 6 months and the other readiness, is that whatever time works for you. As I said, if you're hungry, you can always get your baby to the table while you're eating a snack. You want the baby's mood to be calm. You don't want a crying baby at the table. You don't want the baby crying a lot while you get the baby to the table. So baby needs to be calm, alert, and not fussy. When you get the baby to the table, you want to expect rejection. The baby may not take it, or if you put something into the baby might make a very, oh my God, what is this kind of expression, or baby might put it out. That doesn't mean they do not like the food. It's just that at that point of time it's a little weird feeling for them with that texture and the flavor, but you want to keep offering. So basically research says that you want to offer a particular food to the child. Before they accept it, they take around 15 to 20 servings of it, isn't it? So you want to keep offering. So today if they have said no to a banana, you want to keep offering it the next week and the next. At least 15 to 20 times of offerings in this 6 months of window period that you have helps the child to kind of be accustomed or be able to figure out whether they would want to eat it or not. All right, so you want to know when it is enough. So when the baby says no, you need to stop. Now we as adults, we love our food, right? So if you go to a buffet, we would like to eat the biryani, we would like to eat the naan and whatnot, and also we would like to have a dessert served where there's always room for dessert. But our body, our stomach is giving you all the signals to stop, but we don't, because mouth, the palate is like craving for that yummy food. But for children it is a matter of fact. It's like, you know, their body says, I'm hungry, feed me, I'm full, please stop. So you want to know when it is enough, and you want to respect those finish cues. All right, so the next thing that we are going to talk about is distraction. Try and not distract the baby to eat, look kawa, look bird and all that stuff. You want to avoid screen times. See, if you're starting with a habit wherein food and mouth and that's about it, and avoid all these distractions because you're too overly stressed that the baby is not eating, then it's going to lead to a picky eating stage later on. So you want to stop any kind of offering bribes, hard selling the food, praising the child for eating, things like that. You want to keep everything as a matter of fact. So do not micromanage while the baby is eating. So you know, as I said, trust yourself to know when to interfere or when to help the child, but apart from that, you let the child explore with the hand, with all the 5 senses, the hand, the smell of the food, the touch of the food, the taste of the food. So that is how you need the baby to get accustomed to food and practice. So what are the approaches that we have been talking about? So I think we can agree that a lot of things are be talking about baby-led weaning. That is baby, I will talk about it, and there is a baby-led weaning, there is a traditional weaning, and there is a combination of both. So what are the advantages of baby-led weaning, traditional weaning. What is traditional weaning? It is basically you start with purees and you feed the child. So the baby is sitting or whatever, and you are feeding the baby food, and most of the time, most often than not, traditional weaning starts with pureed foods. Now what are the advantages of starting such a traditional weaning approach is that babies tend to eat from the start because you are giving food. Parents have a sense of control. You feel like, okay, I have a control over this whole eating thing, and I'm happy that the baby is eating so much, whether the baby likes it or not. And what you would tend to do generally is try and give more variety of food and flavors. So these are the advantages of traditional lead weaning. But what are the disadvantages of it? There is lack of research basically of its appropriateness or benefits. The baby may not be developmentally ready when you start traditionally when you offer food through spoon feeding method, and in traditional weaning there is a risk of picky eating, and there is a potential for you to miss the full cues of the baby. So it is also said that the transition to pureed food to finger foods is they can resist that, and then this can lead to delaying in chewing habits. What is baby led weaning, however, is that we skip purees altogether. There is absolutely no purees. You can of course give puree, but you will not feed the child. The baby is self feeding from day one. So today you are thinking, tomorrow I'm going to start feeding the baby, but from tomorrow you are not going to feed the child. What is going to happen is that you are going to keep the food in front of your baby, and baby will grab and put it into their mouth and see how that goes from there. So there is no feeding the child. You can baby led weaning goes straight to finger foods. So basically the goal here is to get the baby to be an independent eater with early chewing practice, because they have the reflex to self feed. We most times underestimate our children. They are very smart. They always mimic the adults, and given time and their milestones, they tend to do things, they are very apt to do things like self feed. Okay, so what are the advantages of baby led weaning? Is that it is backed by research. It is safe. What does research say? That baby led weaning is safe, it is appropriate way to start solids, and the babies do not have the tendency to choke. Why they do not have the tendency to choke here is because the baby is taking food and eating by himself. So what does that tell the brain? That the brain is quite alert and ready to take that food into the mouth, compared to when you are force feeding the child with a spoon. The baby is not doing by himself, so it kind of becomes a little kind of a startle reflex for the child whenever the food is into the mouth, because they are not anticipating it. So with baby led weaning, the food is anticipated by the brain, and so there is no chances of choking. Baby led weaning also reduces picky eating later on, because they have the trust as far as the food is concerned. You serve and eat family foods. It ensures acceptance of different food and flavors in toddlerhood, and there is improved oral motor skills, better map of the mouth by the brain. What are the disadvantages, however, is research shows more gagging. Gagging is when they are not able to swallow the food, but they tend to make a puking or a vomiting expression. That is how the body is trying to safeguard the child. It is a very normal reflex, and they tend to gag. So the gagging at 6 months is more in baby led weaning than in spoon fed babies. They can get messier because spoon feeding is kind of very neat and clean. You're just putting the spoon into the mouth, whereas with baby led weaning, baby tends to explore, they tend to make a mess. So in baby led weaning, there's more, it can get messy. Baby may reject spoon feeding later on. That is one of the disadvantages, and you may not know how much the baby is eating or baby is getting the nutrition. So these are the disadvantages of the baby led weaning approach. Now, can I do both? You would ask me, can I do both? Can I start with purees and then can I start with finger foods? Absolutely, why not? It is your game. You want to start with purees because you're not feeling confident that the baby can actually eat finger foods. You're thinking, I don't think what she said was right, so I'm just going to play safe and I want to give purees. So you can start with purees in the initial beginning and then move on to finger foods. But I would caution you not to keep giving purees until for more than 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you want to transition to finger foods, because there is a window of opportunity between the 9th and the 11th month, around that time, where the baby is open to eating and exploring variety of foods. Now this window of opportunity and you know, the chewing, mimicking the chewing or practicing chewing as well, but after that particular window, the baby tends to be more rejective of foods, and if you have been giving only pureed foods, then you will notice that the baby will accept only pureed food and not any wholesome foods. So this is not our aim, isn't it? The aim is to provide family food for your child. So if you're planning on starting with pureed, try and keep it to a maximum of 2 weeks, and then you want to start with baby-led weaning, then you want to start with the baby self-feeding with finger foods. Or you can start both. You can start spoon feeding purees in the mornings, maybe afternoons you can give finger foods and such. So that is another way to go. But remember, both combination feeding has the advantages and disadvantages of baby-led weaning as well as the traditional weaning. So next is we are going to talk about responsive feeding. So what is responsive feeding? Is where we give baby the control. We are not in control of how much the food baby wants to eat, or you know, whether it wants to eat or not. So we are giving baby control. So responsive spoon feeding is where we do not force the baby to open the mouth and push the baby's spoon into the baby's mouth. What we do is we get the spoon in front of the child and we wait for the child to come forward and then take the spoon into the mouth, spoonful of food into the mouth. So this is what is called as responsive feeding. Here we are avoiding force feeding, and we are actually encouraging the baby to come in front and eat. So this will help the baby, help you as well to look at the cues, hunger as well as the finish cues of your child. Instead of force feeding, we let the baby do the feeding, or you know, come forward to eat on their own. So what can you do to avoid any kind of picky eating later? Is you want to create a positive environment. You want to go ahead and respect the baby's cues. If the baby is saying no or looking away or is fussing at the table, then it is a sign that the baby is done. This is the best way to develop a trusting, positive and reciprocal feeding relationship between the baby and the caregiver. It could be the mother, father or grandparents. So this is what is called as, these are the 3 different approaches to feeding your child. Now you want to know how much to feed your baby. It's basically, we want to remember that baby's size of the stomach is not as big as an adult. So that's very kind of small, maybe the size of their fist, so to speak. So you want to feed to appetite and not look at the portion size. So you don't get a big bowl of food and expect the baby to eat all of it. You want to offer the food and let the baby eat, or let the baby eat to his or her appetite and not force. So the portion size initially, if you are planning to do a baby-led weaning or responsive spoon feeding, is to keep it very small. You would want to offer 1 or 2 pieces of finger food or 1 or 2 tablespoons of mashed foods initially. Basically, offering large amounts of food can overwhelm the child and they may simply play with it. So increase the volume slowly, month by month or week by week, basically following the baby's lead. If the baby wants more, they will ask, they will look to you for more, and then you can give more portions. So what we want to know, what we want to do, however, is not make the menu as per the baby's interests. We want to make family food and then offer that food to the child. So do not try to chase baby's food preferences, but for your baby to get the food that you have prepared, offer more if baby looks interested. All right. So now we are going to talk about what food to serve baby. So there is no typical perfect food for your child. See, I am from South India, you may be from the North, and if I say you want to give something what we prepare, and you may not be able to prepare that up in the North, or if you're out of country. So you want to remember that first of all, you can give whatever you have prepared at home, but in appropriate sizes and textures and the softness of the food. So you want to serve foods that are nourishing, obviously. So you want to serve fruits, vegetables, cereals, grains, meat. Yes, meat. I'm coming to that a little later. Fresh and seasonal. You need to have, when you're introducing food, you do not want to introduce things like very watery kind of soupy textured foods, because soupy consistency food, because they do not have any calorific content. They do not have high energy. So when you're introducing your child, please do not go and try to give foods which are not nourishing in nature, like biscuits. Please avoid biscuits and steamed apples all the time. No. Yes, you're going to talk about Cerelac. You can, that is an easy way out for a working mother, I get it, but then it is also full of preservative and flavor enhancers along with sugar. So you don't want to be, you can make it once in a while, but otherwise you want to try and serve something what is homemade. So what are the foods that we can provide is cereals like rice, wheat, ragi, millets, that is ragi comes under millets. You want to try out pulses and lentils like your rajma, your chickpeas. You want to soak these, however, for up to 6 hours and preferably germinate them so that it is easy to digest and it can have better nutrition absorption. Then you want to add seeds. Yeah, pumpkin seeds are very rich in iron, so you can make butter of it. You can apply it on idli, dosa or such finger foods, and you can provide that to the child. The other seeds that you can look into is pumpkin seeds are there, sunflower seeds, and you have sesame seeds, flax seeds. So these are the seeds that you can either roast them and grind them, powder them, and maybe put a little bit of the powder in the baby's food. Then you have nuts. These nuts sometimes can be a cause of allergic reactions. So you would want to introduce them early, but may not be right away. Maybe you want to introduce the non-allergic foods first. But nuts are a very great source of omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for the developing brain. So you want to again roast them, grind them, make powders and sprinkle it on any of the finger foods or mashed foods that you're offering to your child. Fruits and vegetables, of course, high in magnesium, zinc, etc. And meat. When I'm talking about meat, it's going to be, I'm talking about fish, chicken and eggs. You're like, baby is just 6 months, what are you talking meat, right? But yes, it is. If you're a non-vegetarian family, meat is the only source which is called as heme iron, matlab the iron can be absorbed by the body immediately. When it is iron, plant-based iron, iron foods, plant-based foods which are high in iron, they do not get absorbed until you pair it with something as vitamin C. So plant-based foods high in iron can, the baby body can absorb provided it is paired with vitamin C, but meat food that is heme iron, basically the baby's body can absorb it immediately without wanting any kind of vitamin C. You also would want to look at adding spices, herbs. Yes, I'm not talking chili, I'm not talking hot foods. What I'm talking about spices is turmeric, cardamom, cinnamon, a little bit of pepper. If you're doing sambar, a little bit of sambar powder. These things will help your child to transition to family food very quickly. It will teach your child to accept change with the food, and of course there's so much of health benefits with these spices. You can also add ghee. Yes, it is cow's milk, but it is processed, enzymes are broken down. So half a teaspoon of ghee in anything will help in the, because there are good fatty acids, it will help in the rapid development of a child's brain. So again, vegetable oil like coconut oil can also be added into the food. So the main important missing nutrient in breast milk is particularly iron. So you want to look at providing more iron rich food to your child when starting with. So because this is something which your breast milk is not providing. Of course, formula milk is already fortified with iron, but the breast milk, the iron in breast milk, even though it is less, it is easily absorbed by the body of the by the child's body. So don't worry too much about it. Don't overthink iron and just constipate your baby. You want to give fibrous food along with iron as well. So what are the sources of iron I mentioned is heme iron, that is your meat, and then plant based foods. If it is rich in iron, you want to pair it with vitamin C. So do not provide food which is rich in iron. Do not pair it with something which is calcium rich, because there is poor absorption of iron. Tea and coffee, of course, we do not provide it to our child. I hope not. So should not, even as adults, if you are having iron supplement, wait for at least 45 minutes to an hour before you take the supplements. Cow's milk when taken in large quantities does not help in absorption of iron as well, and too much of fiber rich food can also not help your child in absorbing the iron food. So this is basically what I wanted to talk to you about, is the nutrition as far as your babies are concerned. Try to make it iron rich when you're offering to your child. Try to offer variety and flavorful foods, so to speak. How do you offer these foods to your child? So you look like you're interested in baby led weaning now, so why not? Because baby is going to be an independent eater, so that's a good way to start with, isn't it? So how do you offer wholesome food which are not pureed? Now let me tell you, you can offer single ingredient pureed foods to your baby, but instead of you feeding your child, you can always load the spoon and give the spoon to your baby. So initially it's going to be a little messy, it's going to be a little confusing for your child, but if you sit in front of the baby and mimic, take the same spoon and put it into your mouth, they will tend to mimic you. So what about finger foods? That was mashed and pureed foods. What about finger foods? Finger foods, you want finger foods something like steamed carrots, flower of broccoli or cauliflower. You can have your idli dosa cut into long strips, which is the size of your two fingers, and is so that the baby can grasp it by the palms. Now babies don't have this finer pincer grasp, like where we can hold, like, you know, if you give me a green pea, I can take it with my index and my thumb finger, but for the child who is just about to start solid, they can only hold with their palms. So that's the palmar grasp. So if they can hold that, if you're giving a finger food, they will go like this, they will not go like this. So that is between the 6th and the 9th month. So when you're giving food, try to make it as long as possible. At least the food should be coming out of the baby's fist. This is a very ideal size, something like this. The texture should be the consistency should be soft. That is, if you can mash it between your fingers, the index and the thumb finger, then it should be readily squishable or mashed when you do that. So this is the right way to offer finger foods to your child. The size of your two fingers and long enough so that it is sticking out of your child's fist. You don't want to you don't want to give anything too hard, like for example apple. Apple, if you're not cooked it to a consistency where it is soft, then when the baby bites into it, bits of it can come off and the child may choke. So you want to look at how larger foods can be broken down into appropriate sizes and consistency. Okay. So what are the finger foods that we can give to your child is steamed carrots. You can give long strips of idli with some chutney on it. You can give dosa with a little bit of sambar on it. You can give chicken drumsticks. Yes, don't look at me like I'm a mad person, but what I'm saying is chicken drumsticks, or even the pit of a mango, the mango pit. They tend to basically help the baby's brain to map the mouth, as in, like, what do I mean by mapping the mouth? So for example, if you're eating a scrambled egg and there might be a little bit of shell in the mouth, in the scrambled eggs, how does your brain pick it up inside your mouth, isn't it? You feel the eggshell and then you kind of move it around your mouth and get it in the tip of your tongue to remove it. So this is how the brain has mapped your mouth. So when you're giving larger food like chicken drumsticks, big one, remove the extra bones or any kind of gristles, or if you give a mango pit, you will see that the baby will chew it. There is no risk of choking. The baby will tend to move it side to side and practice chewing. So that's about finger foods. Other foods that you can give, like smaller things like green peas or grapes, you want to mash them so that it does not get lodged into their throat. It can be also mixed, these small foods can also be mashed or pureed and mixed with rice, or it can be as a dip, it can be used as a dip. So what you want to remember is, do not give small coin sized food to your child because there is a risk of choking. So you want to give something, you do not want to give things which are too firm and can break easily, like a raw carrot or an apple. You want to not introduce crunchy foods or like chips and potato wafers right away. So these are the things that you want to avoid. Okay, so we are going next to what are the foods that you need to avoid, I think. All right, so sorry, before that I want to tell you about the family food. So when you are like, what is she talking family food? How do you think my baby will eat whatever I'm making? So first of all, you want to know that family food is first of all nourishing and fresh. You need to cut and prepare it differently, obviously. So when you're doing or adding vegetables into your sambar, you want to make it appropriately shaped, and the consistency should be such that the baby can bite into it and it is soft. And you want to see that the baby is being given a flavorful food, so basically to mature the palate of your child. So now you're saying, how does the baby eat all these things? Because they do not have any teeth. So what are you talking, really? So remember, your baby is already teething, right? So if you put your finger into into your baby's mouth, you will see that they tend to bite really hard. It's quite kind of painful. You should remember that there are teeth already formed inside the gums and they're all ready to come out. So when you're giving this to the baby can absolutely chew it with those hard gums, and so that should not be a worry as far as whether the baby has got teeth or not. Baby's molars come sometime around after first year, so you're not going to wait up to 1 year to start food. So remember these small things is that bigger is better when starting off. Cut food into strips, sticks or wedge shapes. Soften the firm foods by cooking. Avoid crunchy foods. Thick purees should help in practicing spoon feeding, like the baby practicing with the spoon. So what are the foods to avoid? The foods that you want to avoid, firstly, is something which can make your baby sick. Secondly, you want to avoid foods that are that can be a risk of choking, and you want to avoid foods that are processed, that is processed like your biscuits and chips and things like that, and sugar and salt. So what are the foods that can make your baby sick? Firstly, it is honey. Kindly do not give honey to your child up until 1 year of age. It can cause something called as infant botulism, and it can be very fatal to your baby. Raw or unprocessed meat is a big no. Always cook well when you're giving poultry or seafood to your child. And a raw dairy like cheeses, you want to, maybe paneer is fine. But generally, which is any cheese which are blue in color or not been processed much, you will want to avoid that. Cow's milk, please avoid cow's milk up until 1 year of age, because the cow's milk protein can cause distress to your child. But then you would ask me, can I offer yogurt or paneer? Yes, because the proteins here has been broken down by the enzymes, and they are easy to digest for your child. The other thing that you want to not provide is foods that are, as I told you, foods that cause choking, which are round, small, slippery or firm. You don't want to give large globs of nuts, butters, which can get stuck in the mouth. And you want to look at the fish, if you're providing fish to your child, you want to see that the bones are taken out. Crunchy foods, like apples and raw carrots, as I mentioned, should be avoided, but needs to be cooked appropriately. So processed food like I said, chocolates and such, biscuits, all the processed foods needs to be avoided strictly up until at least 2 years of age. Salt is not good for your baby's kidney. It can cause damage to your baby's kidneys because of the excess salt. So whatever salt is already naturally present in your baby's food is fantastic. So do not please add salt. Now you're saying, how do you offer something which is bland? Now you want to remember that the baby's palate is clean. Whatever you offer is the first thing that is going into the mouth. Baby does not know anything about salt or sugar, isn't it? So it has been having only milk, whether it's breast milk or formula. They have not had any other kind of flavor into their mouth. So when you are giving food which is minus salt or sugar, they have no idea about it at all. So don't worry too much about the salt content or the sugary content. They will eat, they might look like they are not happy with it, but it got nothing to do with the salt or sugar. It's got the fact that they are getting introduced to something for the first time, and that's why they are making that face. So kindly avoid salt, kindly avoid sugar. Sugar is not needed at all, we don't need it in particular. It can cause obesity and diabetes, and adults as well as babies are predominantly, we tend to move towards sweeter foods. So avoid very sugary laden foods, so that your babies do not get kind of looking out for sugary foods than savory foods. Alright, so these are the foods that we need to avoid. The next thing that we are going to talk about is water. How much water can you avoid your child? Is that up until 6 months, no water at all. From 6 months to 9 months, you want to introduce only inside 118 ml of water and not more. You want to start with offering cups or straw cups instead of sippers and this 360 bottles and bottle teats, because at some point of time you want to wean off from these kind of bottles, isn't it? So babies, as I said, do not underestimate, they can learn very fast. So what you want to do is you want to start by introducing a cup. Don't make it large cups, make it small cups. Don't have too much of water in it, start small and offer the cup to the child, let the cup take it, and you want to mimic drinking, so the baby too will mimic it. There may be a lot of spillages, but that's okay. As we keep talking about practice, that's what it is to be done. Practice makes perfect. Keep offering to your child, let the child keep practicing on these cups. So select something small which is easy to hold in their hands, and do not put large amount of water into it. Straws also help. You can start with, to buy a straw cup right away. You can start with straws and you can help the baby to drink from that. So the next is avoiding allergic food. When you think there is a family history of allergic foods and your baby, you want to kind of you want to introduce it early, of course, but may not be the first food that you want to offer. Allergic foods you want to offer slowly, but first you want to introduce normal non-allergic foods. Alright, so what we do, what are the foods that can cause allergies is nuts, generally speaking, fish, shellfish, eggs, cow's milk, soy and till, that is sesame. If you feel like the baby is trying to gnaw at, trying to pull his tongue out, which is not a typical behavior, is pulling at the ear, or if you see any kind of rashes, diaper rashes or so to speak, then it might be an allergy. So you want to talk to your doctor even before starting solids as what to do when there is an allergic symptoms. You want to rush to the hospital right away. We unfortunately don't have a 911 here, so you want to rush to the hospital right away if you find that any kind of allergic reaction is seen. So basically, before concluding this session, I want to talk about the frequently asked questions. What if my baby is not taking the meals? Basically what you want to do is, as I said, this is all a practicing stage at the moment from that 6 to 12 months of age. Their main food right now is breast milk and formula milk. So you don't want to really be overstressed over why the baby is not eating, what the baby is not eating, because you want to start with breast milk, give food and end with breast milk for the first from 6 months to 9 months, and slowly when you're transitioning to family food, skip the breast milk or formula after food. There's too much to go into it, so I'm just going to talk about the basics on that. So don't worry too much about how much the baby ate, will the baby eat. If the baby has skipped a meal altogether, the body will regulate at some point and the baby will eat more at some point. The other frequently asked question is, what if the baby gets constipated? You want to kind of cut down that particular meals for that day, start giving more breast milk, and also include fibrous food like vegetables and fruits. So these are the basically the frequently asked questions that I get. All in all, my time is up, so I would want to conclude this by thanking KMC for this opportunity to help and guide you wonderful mothers into introducing solids. I hope you found this session helpful, and if at all you find you want more help, you can always connect with me, or you can always call KMC for the same. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye bye.